It's been very special in very many ways. Firsts of many types have taken place. This year, one of the contingents of IAF have marched on the tune of Astronaut in the parade. It's the first time that the Shankhnad tune has replaced the age-old martial tune of Indian Armed Forces. It's the first time in history that 4 veteran soldiers of the Azad Hind, aged above 90 years, have taken part in the parade.
देखिए तिरंगे की 3 आकाश को अपनी मुट्ठी में भरे मोती लेकर लेकर गए हैं। उठाए जो तिरंगा लोग बदन में आंच। The pale blue of the sky welcoming hundreds of balloons in the colors of the national flag, rising as if towards a higher calling. And as the shades of freedom take wing, carrying with them the aspirations of 1.25 billion Indians, we recognize, rejoice and revel in all that makes us truly Indian. Joining hands, heads and hearts, we salute this nation, its large heart, boundless patience and open embrace.
देश प्रेम की भावना को मानो गुब्बारों के पंख मिल गए हैं और वो उन्हीं के रंगों में रंग गए हैं। भव्य और शानदार गणतंत्र दिवस समारोह संपन्न होता हुआ
माननीय अतिथि प्रस्थान कर रहे हैं। माननीय राष्ट्रपति और सभी गणमान्य सम्मानित मेहमान अब प्रस्थान कर रहे हैं।
माननीय राष्ट्रपति श्री रामनाथ कोविंद और आज के समारोह के मुख्य अतिथि दक्षिण अफ्रीका गणराज्य के राष्ट्रपति श्री सिरिल रामाफोसा, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी, उपराष्ट्रपति श्री वेंकैया नायडू, सभी गण्यमान्य व्यक्ति सलामी मंच से अब प्रस्थान कर रहे हैं।
In the words of Adlai Stevenson, patriotism is not short, frenzied bursts of emotion, but the tranquil and steady dedication of a lifetime. So today,
the 70th Republic Day parade finally comes to an end. And as you can see, the departure of the President is currently taking place. He's been accompanied by the guest of honor, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Vice President Venkaiah Naidu. It's been indeed a spectacular parade, and of course, as we just mentioned, several firsts have taken place, from women power at the parade to the displays of the M777 ultralight howitzer and the K9 Vajra. And the special highlight of this parade was the honouring of the 4 veterans of the Azad Hind Force, or the Indian National Army. Last thoughts, let me also go back to our defence experts. Major General, your thoughts on the parade, just winding up now.
Akansha, I have only one thought. Today has been a great day, the 70th celebration of our Republic. And we sing songs and praises for the soldier and who stands the sentinel of this country, because of whom whatever is happening, the growth and the development in the country is taking place, because the soldier never sleeps. The soldier guards the borders, the integrity and the sovereignty of this nation. But let's not just think of him one day in a year or 2 days, 26th August and 15th August and 26th January. Let's remember and keep the soldier in our hearts and minds round the year, all 365 days. The Indian Army soldier, the Indian Defence Forces soldier, the flyer and the sailor asks for nothing. He is a very simpleton person. He has dedicated himself and his body and soul to the country. He sworn to the flag to give his supreme sacrifice of his life. Therefore, all he wants is a bit of recognition. All he wants is a bit of acknowledgement of the fact that he is living and dying for this nation. As long as the people of our country remember that, we will be a much stronger India.
Acknowledgement of the soldiers and the army, and which we actually witnessed, that was completely on display at the parade. Your last thoughts on the parade, Lieutenant General Sharma?
Akanksha, I found the parade very wholesome and a very enriching experience. The magnificence apart, the parade apart, the exhilaration of the marching columns or the exhilaration of the aircraft taking off and going, Sukhois. There is finally a pride in ourselves. There is a nationalistic fervor that comes up in the parade. It comes up in the run-up to the parade and during the parade, where the nation all glued to their visuals and keep watching the parade. So there is a question of pride in our nation. This is actually visible in the Republic Day parade, and we salute the organizers who put the entire event together. It takes a long time and long efforts to organize an event like this, and I think it's a great theme and it's a great parade, and we wish the nation and all our viewers all good wishes forever.
Absolutely, and as Major General, you rightly mentioned that, acknowledgement of the soldier, of the martyrs, and that is exactly what the 70th Republic Day celebrations were about, acknowledging the ones we have missed to acknowledge, we have actually not been able to, and that included the Azad Hind Fauj, as we spoke about earlier, the Indian National Army, which went away unnoticed. They were the unsung heroes, and by honouring those 4 veterans, I think India has given them the due that they actually deserved.
Visitors here who return the warmth with great enthusiasm as we look towards a bright future with great pride and joy in our nation and in the Republic, and in the fact that we are proud Indians with a long heritage and a great future.
और प्रधानमंत्री यहाँ इंक्लोजर्स में जो दर्शक हैं उनके निकट जाते हुए अभिवादन स्वीकार करते हुए और हाथ हिलाकर यहाँ मौजूद सभी दर्शकों का अभिवादन करते हुए, और बहुत जबरदस्त उत्साह है यहाँ लोगों में.
It must be such a moment of pride to lead such an enthusiastic and such a diverse nation, because India is not just a nation state, it has always stood out.
Lieutenant General Sharma, this is something which always stands out about Prime Minister Modi, his connect with the people. To have stepped away from the dais and walking past the barricades where, people almost cheering on, hungry for his attention. You can see his fan following from children to women and, of course, men of all ages. You can see that's the kind of charisma he commands.
Yeah, see, when he gets out after the parade is over, he stands on top of the steps and starts waving to the people. Every person there in the audience waves back at him, because everybody thinks he's waving at me. When he comes down on the road, the Honorable Prime Minister walks along, meets the kids, shakes hands. Everybody thinks that he is personally being greeted by the Prime Minister. This comes not to all politicians and not all leaders. It comes to specific few. We have seen so many leaders. We have so many leaders existing today who are not able to connect. Maybe people of wisdom, but he's able to connect. He understands. Great relationship.
That also comes from a bit of grounding and humility that a person must have, and probably he's seen life from a very basic form.
And you see that, on 15th of August, there used to be a bulletproof glass in front of the Prime Minister. For years altogether it has been there. But he came and stood on 15th of August and removed the bulletproof glass. People were hesitant to walk across to the masses, afraid that something may go wrong. But he is not afraid to anything go wrong. He goes across and meets people. There is a tremendous, a politician must meet the people. People elect him. They want him to be one of them. If you stand apart, well, you have lost something out.
Maybe it is a very, very interesting, poignant moment for the Prime Minister himself, because let's not forget that this is the last Republic Day celebration of the BJP government's tenure at the moment. Your last thoughts on Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
How do you say it is last?
I
mean,
you
of this tenure of the BJP,
the last of the present government,
of the present government of this tenure.
2019 will tell the future.
Yes.
Well, I agree with what Rakesh has said, and it's not only the connect with the Prime Minister is demonstrating on this parade, his connect with the people even through the headquarters of his party. He has got the video conferencing system with his workers at the state level, at the district level, and how he reaches out to the workers of the party to convey to them his mind, to convey to them his ideology, to convey to them his forethoughts, so that the party workers can then take it forward. And that is one thing which is really helping him in trying to translate his thoughts and his ideas onto the ground, where he's able to pass it on to people. Whatsoever you may say in today's technological days of IT and communication, but the fact is that a person-to-person communication, nothing can beat that. And PM Modi definitely excels that. He carries the cake.
इस महान देश की परंपरा और विरासत में हमारे विश्वास और हमारी आस्था को और दृढ़ करता है.
Special days, special moments, and of course, for all those who came to witness the parade here on Rajpath, special privileges. Great excitement in the crowd, very encouraging for the Prime Minister, who seems to really be taking a long walk down Rajpath, greeted warmly wherever he goes. A light winter morning breeze, slight fluttering of flags.
A very, very pleasant Republic Day celebrations. There have been occasions when the celebrations have been marred by the cold winter and rain, but today it's been a very sunny day, and God has been kind indeed.
We've seen foggy. You can't
as you mentioned, Lieutenant General Sharma, you know, that everything was beautifully aligned with the theme of the 70th Republic Day celebrations. We had the South African president as this, guest of honor. And as you rightly mentioned earlier, that, he beautifully weaved in with the theme of Mahatma Gandhi, because let's not forget that Nelson Mandela is also going to be celebrating his 100th birth anniversary. And this has indeed been a success, a very memorable 70th celebration. Also, we should talk about, what can India take away from, its ties with South Africa? Should we look at revitalizing ties with South Africa?
Yeah, see, we are in that IPSA forum with South Africa, the India, South Africa, Brazil, and there is great amount of work done. But we need to get some things behind us. There were purchases of a kind which were put into some kind of hibernation because of relationship with a company called Denel, which is a great manufacturer of weapon systems. We have to move on to things. If there are problems, let's finish the problem and get to the next thing. We are losing great amount of technological intake which we can take from them. There is great work done in South Africa on agricultural issues, which we need to take from South Africa, from Israel, other countries, to get the second and the third agriculture revolution going. So relationship with these countries have to be brought and intake and give and take. It's a process of give and take. We have so many Indians in South Africa, settlers there, so the relationship goes century. 1860, I'm told, the first Indians went across from Gujarat across to settlers there. I think there is much to be gained in relationship with South Africa and Africa as a whole.
Yeah, I'd like to add what Rakesh said. Yes, very rightly, all these said I fully endorse. Akansha, Africa is no longer the dark continent.
Absolutely.
Africa has opened up to the world. Africa has a lot to offer. And there is a lot of commonality between India and Africa. You know, things like poverty, things like education, things like women empowerment, development, scientific upgrades, agriculture, forestry, mines. I mean, you say it and you have it. The commonality between India and Africa. Therefore, there has to be a synergized approach, you know, socio, political, economic, military, diplomatic, with not only just South Africa, but the whole of Africa, I would put it. 54 countries has enough to offer India. And India has enough to accommodate all that. So I think this approach of India-Africa relationship, I won't just say South Africa, but India and Africa, Africa is a continent. India also, I always say, is a continent. We have to gel, find commonalities and move ahead much faster than what we are doing.
Absolutely. Also, you know, particularly South Africa, because we have Cyril Ramaphosa in the country at the moment. And let's not forget that, you know, South Africa has one of Africa's most thriving defense industries, and it could actually be a good idea to explore partnership on the defense front in terms of joint production between India and South Africa.
See, we had relationship with Denel earlier, which is a very big concern, and then there were corruption issues and they were removed from the panel of people. But there is much to gain from South Africa's technology. The president of South Africa comes from Soweto, which is the largest black settlement next to Johannesburg. From there, he's turned out to be a very big businessman. He's got business empire. He's got many other relationships. There's so much to learn from South Africa in this manner, and we must move ahead. We have relationship with neighboring countries, with Botswana, with Zimbabwe, with Zambia, with Namibia. We need to develop much more, and we have traditional relationship with Africa.
Right. As we can see now, the parade has ended and it's now moved towards the Red Fort.
With its history.
And with that, it's a wrap of our continuous coverage on the 70th Republic Day celebrations. I'd like to thank you, Lieutenant General Rakesh Sharma and Major General A.G. Bejani, for sparing your precious time and your precious perspective with us here on World is One. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and all good wishes to you.
Thank you. Good wishes to you and your channel.
Thank you so much.
पूरे रास्ते दोनों ओर अपार जनसमूह मौजूद है। आज गणतंत्र दिवस पर प्रेरणा और देश प्रेम की ऐसी भागीरथी बही है कि जिसमें सब तर गए हैं। राष्ट्रकवि मैथिली शरण गुप्त के शब्द हैं, संपूर्ण देशों से अधिक किस देश का उत्कर्ष है? उसका कि जो ऋषिभूमि है वो कौन? भारतवर्ष है।